Okay, we're back. And what you can do here is you can start playing around with these numbers here. So um, these numbers, of course, can be adjusted. So I can put 255 in there, and I'm just going to click play. And you'll notice that changes the color of my pixel. So a combination of red and green. And then if I put them all at 255 and click that there, I'm going to get the white. Okay. So you can play around with these. You can put, any number you want in here. 178 or, I don't know, try 100 here and see what kind of color combinations you come up with. For this tutorial, I'm just going to keep it at 255, 0 and 0, but you can play around with any colors you want. And then obviously this is your x-axis and your y-axis. So if I'm going to change, if I want to move that over along the x-axis this way, so I'd do y0 and then x, let's just put it in the middle. So though x is first, so whoops, get that out of the way. X is, let's try 8 and y is 0. So if I click play here, you will see it moves it over to 8 on my x-axis and y is 0. If I change that again, let's say I change that to 0, the x-axis to 0 and the y-axis to 8, and I click play, that should move it up there. So you can see, you can play around with that. Now, that's okay, but it's a bit dull moving that pixel around. Why don't we see if we can make the pixel blink? So to do that, what we want to do first is let's go down to here. And what we're going to do next is we're going to change the state of the pixel to either on or off. And we're going to do that by bringing in another module called time. Okay, so this is going to make it sleep. So what we want to do is, the first thing we're going to do is, of course, show the pixel. And then we're going to go time, and then we're going to do dot sleep. And we're going to put a number in here. So I'm going to put 0.25, and then I'm going to put unicorn hat, which is that UH, dot clear. So that's going to clear, actually clear the pixel. And I can just go like that. And then I'm going to show the pixel again. So UH dot show. And I'm just going to do parentheses. And then I'm going to do a time again. So time dot sleep. And what's happening here is this time is a module, and then inside that module we have the the sleep object. So you can't just say time and then put this in brackets, because it needs that sleep object to know what to bring out of the module. So sleep, and we're going to go 0.25 again, and okay, now this is going to run once. So let's see what this looks like. I'm just going to click play. And it does it once, and it actually turns it off. So we want it to blink. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a loop. To do that, to make it loop over and over and over and over again, we're going to use a while true loop. While true. Make sure you capitalize your T there, and then a colon at the end there, and that's just holding down Shift and next to the L there. Now, one thing you're going to notice is when I hit enter, it actually indents it right here, and it brings it in, I think it's 4 lines. Let's check here. So I'll just do that again. Indent it, and let's back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe it's 4 lines. So we have to make sure that our everything lines up and everything is indented correctly. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going back. I'm going to time. I'm hitting backspace, and then I'm hitting enter. So all I'm doing is making sure everything is indented correctly. If you try and run it without the correct indentation, Python will not recognize that, and you'll get an error. So make sure it's all indented here, all indented in. You have to have that correct in order for Python to work. So I'm just going to click play. I can click play, or I can also hit F5 on my keyboard. So I'm going to hit F5. And you'll notice that what it's doing is actually running through this loop again and again and again and again and again, infinitely. And it's showing it, it's sleeping for 0.25 seconds. It's clearing, and then it's showing it, and then it's sleeping, and it's doing it again and again and again and again. So this would run forever, actually. But let's say we wanted to run it, instead of running it forever, we just want to run it 10 times. So let's go back up to the top here. Instead of using a while true loop, we're going to use a for loop. So let's say we can use any letter. So for I in range, and then we're going to do, the range is going to be, let's do it 10 times. So it's going to run through this loop 10 times. So for I in range, and then in parentheses 10. So basically this is going to run through this loop 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's see how that works. So I'm going to click play. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there we go. So that's your range function. It'll run from, it'll actually run from 0 and then all the way up to 10. So it'll run this loop 10 times. Okay, so let's stop there and we'll come back in a minute.